as a small biz pro, and so we grow using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
So,
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And folks, today we're going to have an amazing show. We have two phenomenal guests on our show today, guys. If you haven't seen the advertisement on Facebook or on LinkedIn, well, you're going to see it now live and direct on YouTube. So, co-host, how are you doing?
I am good. This has been a good week. I actually I had the Black holiday mixer on Wednesday, and then on Thursday night I went to a reparations, which is actually coming out of
Reparations?
the reparations and coming out of Karen Bass's office, Mayor Karen Bass's office. So it was.
Are they getting ready to give us some money?
They're working on it. So there is a survey that those that live in the city of Los Angeles have to complete, and they need 4,000 signatures. So they had this
And
mixer.
they can count me in.
They can count you in, and it's actually going to be good. I mean, obviously, restitution for those individuals, but they're really looking for the economic balance, right? So housing, technical assistance, and that's really what the survey talks about is all the things that have held Black folks back. That's what they're looking at doing, and so making sure that their programs for everyone and housing, the down payment assistance, education for the kids, arts and culture, economic balance and income, capital for our businesses, all of that stuff. So kind of exciting, actually.
Well, that sounds interesting, and I really, really would love for them to make this thing happen. They've been talking about it for a while. The governor talked about it, and all those people. Now, I want to know. I wasn't born in California, so does that mean I have to go through some special provision to get my reparation?
No, that means that you lived once. So we're starting in Los Angeles, and then from there, each one of the little municipalities within governmental municipalities, and eventually it'll be the whole entire state. So therefore, it doesn't matter that you were born in Jamaica. But however, your family may get you may get restitution in the state of California, but then you may also have a second opportunity in Jamaica, because there was slavery in Jamaica. You guys were the first stop before you got to us.
Man,
you got to the States.
I don't even think I don't think they'll get to the whole word of reparation there in Jamaica. They'll probably get the rep. That's it. The reparation part. I don't know about that, man. So if I get my choice to collect here, I'll just collect here.
You collect here.
Yeah.
So what I learned was here's some interesting facts. So when the ships left Africa and first hit the Caribbean, because that's where they were first, Brazil all the way up and through before they actually got to the Americas, to the new country. If a person died on board or jumped overboard or whatever they did, if they didn't make it to their destination, then the individuals, the ship holders, and all the individuals that were investing in this transatlantic transportation, they all got restitution. It was an insurance. Lloyd's of London actually insured it.
Really?
And so they were all given restitution by England. And then And then once they came to the Americas and I imagine all around throughout the Caribbean, anytime an enslaved a person was whatever died, either by their own means or their means of the cruelty that took place, they were provided with a restitution or a reparations for that. And then when they were all freed, every plantation owner got $300 per head.
Man, that's bogus, man. $300. That's bogus, man. See, I know that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say, "Hey, Crystal, here you go. Here's $1,000. Here's your reparation." It's like, come on,
No, I think it's a little bit more than that. So anyway,
that's
that's the
not
goal.
enough.
So right now, but first we gotta get the signatures so that we can get it pushed through. So the state of California is trendsetter,
Mhm.
and so it's really important that it happens in the state of California, and then then the states across the country. Um, Especially the more liberal states across the country, will pick up the gavel and move forward on there. So that's kind of they're waiting for the state of California
You
to make
know,
it happen.
it's amazing. I was looking at YouTube yesterday. I saw a video on there with a lady, an Indian lady. You know, she was very she was very adamant about it, and she was complaining. She said, "Hey, we want a reparation." I'm going, reparations for what? She said, "Yeah, from England because they
Yeah, there you
control
go.
our
See?
country for all these years and they use us like slave and they robbed us of our
Mhm.
culture and everything. We want $250 trillion because I guess there's this white dude from England that's saying, well, you guys need to comply with us and do what we tell you to do." And she's saying, "We're not complying with anything. You guys owe us reparations." I'm saying reparations.
And
So
it's not
then,
just here either. It's to them. I know
mhm,
Australia is waiting for this to happen
yeah,
in California
for the
for
indigenous
all of their
people.
indigenous
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
So it has some major bearing because the whole entire world profited off of this. So
I just hope this happened during my lifetime,
your
man.
lifetime,
Because,
well, we
yeah.
will hopefully it will work that way. But I got some news for you that you're gonna absolutely love.
All right, I'm waiting. Let me hear it.
I got a call from Al Washington, Pan African
Oh yeah,
uh,
yes,
uh,
yes,
Chamber of Commerce,
yes.
and he's been watching us and
Ooh,
what we're doing. So the conference, the Pan African conference, is going to be in Los Angeles. He's
really?
actually working with Karen Bass and the
Mm,
city of Los Angeles, the LA city,
yes.
and they got some major hitters coming in. But guess what? He wants the business zone to do.
Ah, be on the program.
He wants us to broadcast live from the conference.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It's about time.
so we're going to talk. It's going to happen in June. So he wants us actually to do our show and to interview the delegates that are coming in from Africa, which will be about 26 or 7 of them, and which will be their chambers, a number of other people. So we'll be working out the details of that. But there you have it.
You know, it's amazing because that's what we were planning for our anniversary. Remember, we were
Right.
planning something like that. We're going to do it live from the Baldwin Hills Mall, and it would be, we would broadcast just like that, interview folks just like he wanted us to do. So
Right, but
it's
now we're
amazing.
going to broadcast from they're working out the location, so it may be the convention center in LA or the convention center in Pasadena or the convention center in Long Beach. So
So,
it'll be huge, and
so
probably in the city of Los Angeles because the city of LA is actually involved in the planning piece.
we got to bring in the poetess to be our
Me
our
too.
production crew and engineer and videographer and everything, right?
All of that. So they had to, I thought you were like, save that
Oh man,
news.
you made my day. This is the second thing that made my month because you know my birthday is in this month, right?
Right.
So 3 days after Christmas will be my birthday, and now this news right here. Oh
And I did not
man.
realize, you said that the other day, but Jackie's birthday is the 19th.
Oh
So two
really?
people that I work with, my co-host and my co-director, you guys
Man,
are born
I'm
all in
gonna
the
have to
same
get
month.
with her so we can celebrate. Go down to that Jamaican restaurant and have some Jamaican food.
Yeah. So yeah. So well, good. I'm glad that made your day a great
Oh
birthday
man,
present.
you have made my day. I'm gonna
Right.
have to go make sure I get my nice brand new suit ready and all of that good stuff.
So and then we pre-plan it, pre-work it so that we would be they would make sure the chambers that are in the different countries that
Right.
are going to be represented,
Get
that
connected.
we are all connected,
That's beautiful.
and that it is airing there. So we have to work that out. Of course, have to have a
And
meeting
and
with
maybe
Cody.
since one of our guests, Miss Selina, is working from the Simi Valley area, she can also get connected because she's going to tell us today about her new position that she got within that city limits, working with small businesses and the city council and the mayor's office and all of that good stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe she
So
can get connected too and talk about some of the good stuff she's doing for small businesses. But
yeah.
for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. We bring you an amazing show which benefits small and micro businesses. If you're an entrepreneur starting your business, this is the platform for you. We provide information in the form of contract readiness, business readiness, loan readiness, and nonprofit readiness. So if you're trying to get into the business space, like I say on this show all the time, you cannot get rich working for the man. If you want to get rich, you got to start your own business. That's how our ancestors did it right after slavery. They started their own business, and we produced the first female millionaire. The first female, I'm not saying the first black, right? But the first female millionaire right after slavery. Okay. So that's what we want to do for you guys. We want to help you guys get your business ready, get your back office set up, help you to become certified, and help you to access government contracts. That's what we do here on the Business Zone. So my co-host is going to tell you guys how you can subscribe or like our program or get involved in the program.
Yes, we need you guys to go over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you enjoy what you're hearing. And we have a archive of over 700 videos with every from A to Z. I'd like to say from A to Z on how to become a business owner, how to scale your business, how to grow your business, how to acquire contracts, how to make money in your business. And then we have had some amazing guests over the last 7 years. So if you want to get a free classes, just going over to our YouTube channel. You can also take a picture of the QR code that will take you to our YouTube channel. But we're asking you to subscribe. So hit that subscribe button, da 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 da, and then hit the like button so that you get a notification every week when we actually go live. So we're here consistently. We have been diligent in being here every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, bringing you some amazing information. Um, Gilbert and I are both business coaches. We've been in the business respectively 30 plus years. We started when we were babies. we were
I
we
was
were
fine.
we were prodigies. But collectively we have a wealth of information and knowledge for you. And so go over there and hit that button if you want to know. And if you want to be a guest on the show, also reach out to us. We'll put our information in the chat at some point in time before we close the air, go off air today. But hey, we are here for you. All right, Gilbert, did you have a good week before we bring in our first guest?
Oh yes, I had a very, very good week. I got some rest first of all
Oh,
because
that's
I've
important.
been working like a dog. So I got some rest. Got a few things taken care of, and I still have a few items taken care of to be taken care of as well. And I still got my Social Security and Medicare stuff to do. I started a registration.
Well, you do know that yesterday was your deadline, right? So
Yeah.
now you missed that deadline, dude. So now you have
Well, I
January
I
1.
did the registration part though. I did
Oh,
that
okay.
part.
Okay.
So now I just need to upload the documents they're asking me for. I'm looking at myself in the mirror this morning. I'm going, man, I don't look that old. Why are they
Is
telling me
that
I
the
need all this
hesitation?
stuff?
Man, before I turned 65, I was like excited to get that money that I had put into the system and the health insurance and all that sort of stuff. I haven't gone for my Social Security as of yet. Probably next year I'm going to go ahead and do that because I
I'm
would have.
thinking I might delay mine until age 70, man, because
Yeah, you can.
I'm going at 65. I'm going, man, I feel like I'm still in my prime.
Well,
I don't
you
want
are.
to. I don't, I don't want to act like an old fogey. Okay, I'm on Social Security. Give me my check.
Oh, you got an ego thing going on.
Yeah, I got an ego thing going on. I still feel like I'm young and I'm fly.
For the whole entire day yesterday, my brother and sister-in-law, that's all we talked about all day long. We had to bring in Greg Sneed. We had to bring in all of our Social Security experts to answer his questions. He was online with Social Security, and he's not even 65 yet.
But I got one quick question to ask you though. Since my birthday is 3 days after Christmas, then that's when I'll be 65. So I'm not technically 65 yet. So
Oh,
do
that's
I
right. So
still
you
need
still
to
got a
file?
little time. Yeah,
Huh?
you got a little time.
So I don't really need to file now then, right?
3 months after you turn 65 is your deadline.
Oh, okay. So good. Because I was really sweating it, man. Because I hear they're going to charge you penalties and all of that if you don't start filing. I'm going, oh, man. I called Angela this morning. I say, Angela, hey, have you filed your Medicare and Social Security, all that crap yet? She said, yeah, I did last year. I said, so when is your birthday? She said January. I said, oh, well, okay. So at least you did it after January, after the year. Now I'm here in December struggling, going, man, it's not even December 28th yet. Why do I need to fill out all this stuff now? Because they ask you for a whole lot of stuff, man. And
Yeah,
when I look at my eligibility benefits, I'm going, man, they're giving me like 2,800 a month.
yeah, it will go up. It'll go up. I think it goes up 8%. So if you wait till you're 70, it goes up 8%.
Okay,
Well, when you really get
I
to
think I might
retirement age.
wait, man. I think I
Okay.
might wait
All right. So
because
that'll be good for your ego.
yeah, I'm sure Mark kind of know what I'm talking about there. Right? I don't think I'm ready to start, claiming senior benefits and all of that.
You know what? When you don't look your age
Yeah,
and you don't feel your age, it's
yeah,
all right to say what age you are. Because there's some folks that look
yeah.
older than their age before they even got to that age. So I don't have a problem telling folks that because they're like, nah. Somebody told me one day, it's like, you're lying. Your mother lied to you. She didn't have you then. She had you 20 years below. No, I don't think that was possible. But
That
anyway.
is true though, co-host. You don't look at day 65, man. You look like you're touching 49s, somewhere around there.
So
So
that's good. That's
I
good.
don't
So,
know, man. I don't know.
and my sister looks younger than I do, and
Yeah.
she's a year younger than I am. So she definitely looked like she's still in her 40s. So yeah, you can sprout it when you don't look it, man. You can strut.
So let's bring in our first guest and see if he can tell us a little bit about how we can get our money right. So this Social
Well, actually, we're
Security
gonna bring
stuff.
Selena on first.
Oh, we're bringing Selena.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna bring Selena on first, and so we can congratulate her on her
Oh
new
yeah.
appointment. I don't
And the
know. We'll find
Superwoman
out.
status.
Yeah, she was running for city council last year, and then here she is now. She's the chairman of an organization. So let's find out
Mm-mm-mm.
what all that is, and we'll tell you all about who Selina is. You guys, she's been on the show before. Um, Hey, Miss Selena, how are
Hi.
you? Let me shift the look here a little bit and move you over here and move us over there. There we go. Hey, Selena.
Hi. Happy holidays.
Hey, Selena, welcome to the Business Zone.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to catch up with you. I know we're all heading into a new year around the sun. So I was listening to you talk about, your ages and, back,
Yeah,
back. So I'm so impressed with both of you.
thank
Congratulations
you.
on that.
They say black don't crack, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
I,
they say Asian doesn't raisin. So, and I'm both.
Yeah, see, there you go. So,
see, you got both.
yeah, see, she got both then, so that means she's like twice the age younger than what she's supposed to be.
Yeah. I'll be 54. I'll be,
Oh,
What?
okay.
yeah.
Does she
Yeah,
look
baby.
54 to you, co-host?
I'll be
Baby.
54 in February. Yes.
Then
Awesome.
you sure you're not
Awesome.
40 and you kind of growing us?
Well, Selena's been honored to by the Valley Industry Association and to be appointed the 2024 chairwoman for the organization.
Yeah.
She brings a wealth of experience to the VIA, as they're called. And I guess you officially take office January 1st.
Yeah.
And she is the founder of 6 Degrees HR Consulting. She hosts a podcast on the SCV Signal and recently featured in the February edition of the San Fernando Business Journal. She has been taking over the valley. Those of us down here working hard in Los Angeles County, but she up there in the valley doing her thing. And we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
You've had an amazing year. Last year you were running for city council, and did you know this was coming up for the VIA?
No, actually, and thank you so much for sharing those details because they are really the journey of continuing to make inroads in the Santa Clarita Valley and even beyond. I just got back from the VICA annual business meeting in Van Nuys today with Yoko Coleman, and we were excited about the collaborative between VICA and VIA that's coming and already kind of, laying roots for the relationship. So I did not know I had, I'm a board member and the opportunity, and, sometimes when you lose, you win, right? Because of the visibility of my campaign and the consistency. And I think we can all agree consistency is how you get where you want to go. They saw my pursuit, not just of the office, but of the support to small businesses during my campaign and within my own company, 6 Degrees HR Consulting. And the board nominated me and then took a vote. And so I am actually installed on December 19th. And yes, take office on the first, hit the ground running right after the new year and already, considering what initiatives, that's why Gilbert and I spoke the other day, what initiatives that we can start to bring forward with not just how infrastructure is key to evolving a company, because that's how I really scaled my company, but sharing that information with small businesses so they go from small to big and bigger. So I'm excited.
Exactly.
Selena, can you tell our audience, Selena, what the acronym VICA stand for and how their businesses can benefit from that as well?
So VIA Valley Industry Association, the organization that I will be chair of, that's the acronym broken down, Valley Industry Association, 43 years now as a solid advocacy and education and development organization for businesses, entrepreneurs, and certainly impactful to legislation. We have a legislative committee that keeps a pulse on what affects small businesses, and obviously working collaboratively with our municipality, the city council. I'm very connected to, because they see me in the circles, they see me on the ballot along with them. They know that we are really just trying to make a difference. And so this is important that as coming in as chairwoman, that we have a real history of results. And so as a business owner, I am coming into my 10th year at 6 Degrees HR Consulting. We're going to have a big ribbon cutting in January. And that, I think, when we spoke on our last show, is really how leadership evolves. Your consistency, your longevity, and your impact in the business community is where the credibility comes in. So we'll get there when it's our turn, but you have to keep showing up, and you have to continue to reflect those issues in all of the work that you're doing. So that's what I'm doing every day in my company and with the organizations that I'm associated with.
Selena, you're making me jealous, man. I'm looking at your wall of fame there behind you with all those recognitions and
Hey,
certificates. I'm
BEP
going,
is up there. BEP
oh, good,
is up
good.
there, and I'm very proud of that. My GLAC certification is up there. I actually have my campaign attorney is in the BEP program right now.
Oh,
And
really?
so, oh yeah, Cedric Collins. He is the owner of Legacy One Law Firm. He's actually my estate attorney as well, my trust attorney.
I need to reach out to him.
Yes, and he's in the program now. He saw what I was. He's like, you know what? I need a taste of that, and so I connected him with Angela Gibson, and Naomi over at GLAC, and they're almost done actually. So
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
super
In
excited
fact, I
for
think
him.
I'm the last. I speak. I do my class on the 13th. I think I'm the last speaker.
Uh
Or
huh.
you might. Do you have another one, Gilbert?
No,
Oh
no,
yeah.
just that. But I might, at the end of your class, I might say a few words for like, maybe 60 seconds or so.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Cedric is
So
in the class, so that connection, the 6 degrees, it's 1 to 2 degrees if you're activated in business. It's
Yeah.
very quick, and so he's known your names for a while, because Crystal, since our last conversation, has taken over the books, and Gilbert continues to mentor me. So those connections aren't just a one-off. They are long lasting. They're impactful to my momentum and what my goals are ultimately. And so I can't say enough about how much I speak about you guys, and the acceleration that I had in my business, even though I was already 9 years in business when I went through GLAC. That last year accelerated because of the BEP program.
Yeah.
that's awesome, and that says a lot because a lot of times we feel we've been in business. People don't realize even we can get stagnant in our own business, right? Because
Mhm.
we're just doing what we do,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and we're most small business owners. We're so busy working on building our businesses, we don't
Mm-hmm.
really we kind of have blinders on to see what else is out there to
Yeah.
take us to that next level, and so
Yeah.
that's why resources like GLAC, which is the Greater African American Chamber of Commerce, and they have their BEP program that stands for Business
Evolution.
Acceleration.
Evolution.
Yeah.
And then you have the other organizations that have programs, and that's why we're out here is to help you grow. Because it would be absolutely amazing if all of our businesses, sometimes when I'm talking to my other colleagues and we're like, okay, we need to go after businesses making $250,000, and we're like, oh, who is that? Now it would be like, whoa, we got so many of them at that
Yeah.
250,000, $500,000, $1 million market. We don't know who to choose. It
Yeah.
Well,
would
you
be
know what
great.
I love? What I love about Selena's commitment to this and her business and the community is that she takes this very seriously. She understands the ramifications of it. She understands the time that we put into to assist her and support her, that
Mm-hmm.
it's valuable. So she shows appreciation for that. And she actually does something with it. So I kind of
Totally.
wish that most of the small businesses in the programs would be like her, because then we could actually see results. We can measure those results. So, and
So
what she's
kind.
doing
Thank
in
you.
her new capacity right now, I just love that. Love what you're doing, man. Love it.
Yeah, I'm
So
so
what
excited because
will
my
be those?
daughters will be there. I get installed on the 19th. My daughter comes home from University of Portland on the 14th. So all three of them will be present. And I just had a strategy meeting yesterday with first selecting my executive board coming in. They'll be installed the same day. That was the
Yeah.
first order of business. And then the committees thereafter. And then really speaking about the initiatives that I would want to see come forward. I did speak about the procurement lane that I'm in now and the opportunity to gain contracts. I've
Mhm.
since BEP gained three contracts. One of them I did GLAC's handbook. And so,
Oh,
yeah, I
beautiful.
updated their handbook. Angela was a client and we had to get on Zoom and we had to go through all the updates. And so um, I was featured in the Sentinel regarding the contract that I got with Boys and Girls Club as a trainer here in Santa Clarita on best practices. And so you don't have to have the whole department in my scope to still have and consider that a contract relationship. And so it builds from there. And so
Yeah.
that was such a great opportunity. So my initiatives, goals that I gave in my first kind of meeting prior to installation was just that. How can we as a collective body, albeit we've been impactful and we really have a presence, how can we be more impactful collectively, new ideas, refresh the way we approach? And it was a surprise that many did not know about procurement. And it's
Yeah.
not about just being a minority business enterprise.
Right.
Procurement is for everyone. So that was important.
You know what I think is amazing? I think when it comes to procurement, a lot of small businesses or even chambers, they look at it like, oh, that's a government thing. It's federal.
It's
We
too
don't have to deal with
arduous.
it. It's
Right.
too hard for us.
Mhm.
It's out of our reach, But but they don't understand one that there's over $500 billion in procurement
You're
money out
leaving
there
money
for
on the
small
table.
businesses.
Really,
Yeah,
if you're a
they're
business
leaving money
owner,
on the table.
you're leaving
Exactly.
money on the table and opportunities to ultimately scale your company. And so I used an
Yeah.
example of a gentleman that went from a mobile barber to somebody that has a procurement contract with the Department of Corrections. And so now he is the
Wow.
contracted barber for juvenile facilities.
That's
And
amazing.
exactly. And so just seeing themselves as someone or sharing with our members
Yeah.
that you should actually see all the opportunities in that way. I go to a hotel and I'm like, okay, who's the procurement? What's the
That
who?
see,
What? How do I?
that's the
What's
mindset I'm talking
I
about right
walk
there.
in, I go, okay, there's art that's equal on each floor. Who's the artist that got that contract? Who's
Mhm.
the janitorial company? Who's the vendor for all of the carpets? Because they have to be cleaned. I'm always thinking in that way. So I'm kind of always dissecting it in that way. And I'm always, of course, in my scope going, who does their HR? Who does their
And
sexual harassment training?
it
Who's
that's
their
what I want that's how I want small businesses to think, because if you're not taking that proactive approach to look to ask those questions and then want to speak with the person in charge of that, then there's no way you're going to get a piece of that pie. You see what
And
I
it's
mean?
really about development of that
Relationship.
acumen and just the
Yeah.
acumen and the eye for it, because that's it was really a surprise to business owners that have been here for 30 years that they'd never heard of that. And luckily we have a really great representative from our city government that's
Yeah.
actually on our board. Her name is Tracy, and she pulled it right up. She goes, yeah, there's procurement for all of the different areas that
Mhm.
support our city. So I
Right.
was super proud that we could speak to that and that be part of the initiatives that I champion, along with other initiatives, like just making sure that people have outreach, as, the body of this, there needs to be activation. I have an expectation of every board member to activate within their orbits because we all come with resources, experience, and connections. And if we did that at every conversation, you'd be surprised about the growth. And so I had one idea about just saying, hey, put a digital badge of VIA, if you're a board member or committee member, in your signature line. And people will recognize that you are not only a board member or committee member, but what your lane is within our organization.
And if they don't think outside of the box like you are right now, what's going to happen is those contracts that are public contracts that's supposed to go out to the public for advertisement so they know about it are only going to end up going through the usual suspects. And the
That
usual
know about
suspects
it.
are going to
Sure.
keep getting it all the time. You see what I mean?
Yeah, don't leave that money on the table for sure.
Uh-uh.
Exactly. I think the first time I think I went to some meeting years and years ago. I might have just had become the co-director of Recycle Black Dollars, and I can't even remember what the meeting was. But I was sitting next to a lady who had the contract for the Getty museum when it was
Right.
being built, and what her she made over $10 million off of this contract, and all she did was she had the machine that did large scale printing, so she printed all of the plans and architectural designs, and she got that contract. Of course, that contract was, you know, it
Sure.
was like a 10-year contract, right?
Yeah.
So she literally is making $1 million a year
It
making
set her
copies.
apart too. Moving forward, it sets her apart that she can put Getty as part of her, right? And so
Right.
it adds to the resume, but it also adds to, and this is where the scaling comes in, it adds to the coals in the fire. You have to have multiple coals in the fire. I have multiple aspects of my um, company that as a practitioner I'm either doing ongoing HR, I'm hired and retained for investigations as a third neutral party, I'm hired for trainings. So those are all out there. And so considering that you don't need the entire contract, but just maybe an element of it because you're a specialist, that's also another way to look at it. And so these are the types of things that I look forward to just developing in terms of awareness, and then activation is partnering with people that have a really robust process of helping you get certified, right? Because that's
Mhm.
part of what GLAC does. You know, you
Mhm.
can take and part and parcel out what other people are really, really proficient at and apply it to maybe an area that we're not as refined. And so that's what I hope to bring to the table with VIA. And I've very well received yesterday, having run my first meeting. It was a little, I was a little nervous, and so but got great feedback and acceptance of some of the direction that we're going. And so I'm super excited about my girls being there 10 years in, and we've been able to, as a family, me and my three girls, build a great life here. My daughters, as I mentioned before, are elite academic athletes as well. And so Morgan just got an offer. That's why I'm wearing Oregon Duck color today. She got an offer at Oregon, and Mia is at University of Portland now, second year. And Madison is a college graduate, business owner now herself. And
And
so
that's what's
Oh, she's a
awesome.
business owner now?
she is. She owns Maddie the Dog Maven, and she's extremely busy, especially with the holidays. People are traveling, and
Is
she
it
was.
a mobile business?
It is a mobile. Well, it's not mobile in the sense that she goes to your home. She
Yeah,
will stay in your home.
yeah,
She's very customized in her care of your animals. She was side by side with me at the business expo last year with the
yeah.
chamber. I'm super proud of that. Like, oh, by the way, it's my daughter, and so, just to see her graduate and be able to build her own business that is niche to her I can't tell you how
And I
Oh,
proud I
think
was.
that's what's so important is they've watched their mother build a
yeah,
business,
yeah,
right? And so they see the value of owning their own business.
yeah.
I always tell the kids that I teach how to be business owners, it's important that yes, you do work for corporate America, because I think that is the best schooling that you can get on
Sure.
how it be a practical, how it really
Yeah.
applies, and especially if it's a successful business. But ultimately, like the all of us, the freedom of being the master of your own destiny, which is what entrepreneurship is, because you control what happens in your world. You control your financial growth,
Outcomes. Absolutely.
outcomes, and so forth. So, but to be able to see someone in action, and when I introduce a new group of kids to my program, I always ask, is there an entrepreneur in your family? Because I already know they, even if they didn't know they were being influenced, they were being influenced.
Yes, it's really subconscious, but it is, it is the way, the pathway to just have agency over your entire life. That I've been really fortunate to be able to travel the world with my daughter, because of what we've been able to accomplish at 6 degrees. I own my own home because of what we've been able to accomplish at 6 degrees, and they are building their credit and an awareness about what that looks like. And certainly they'll probably get there before me, because before my age, because they have had it, they've been immersed in it all of their life. I've been
Right,
an entrepreneur
exactly.
their entire life. And so that, I think, is super important to know. Like, you're around 9 attorneys, you're going to be the 10th, right? So it's the same with business. If you're immersed in it, that influence, whether you, like you said, believe it or not, it has an impact on you.
Has an impact on you. Selena, so we know that since the pandemic, employer relations have gone completely gone awry. What
Lord.
does the future of human resources and entrepreneur, especially employers and employees, especially in the state of California, because we
Yes.
really enforce the increase in salary and making sure that
And
our
we kind of
employees.
set the precedence in nationally. So what we do is almost replicated nationally. And so, to your point, it is a whole new landscape because of our workforce issues. We still have people that do not want to come back to work. We still have a shortage in our workforce. And so, what HR looks like is being a collaborative partner with employers on being very innovative on how they retain their employees, how do they obtain where they're searching, and how they compromise to keep the ones that they have. I literally just did, in the last week or so, a retention bonus policy and program to help an employer keep employees, an incentive that they wouldn't 5 years ago have even considered. But this was in order to continue to exist. And so it looks like, you know, we had that first phase, the COVID crisis in and of itself. And then you just call this part the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
So the aftermath is, how do we adjust? I don't use the word new normal anymore. We're adjusting. We're meeting people where they're at. We are employers are much more collaborative now because they're kind of at the mercy of the workforce issues. And so, as somebody that was maybe adamant about face to face and it's only this way and my way, a few years ago, they don't think like that. They're saying, like you, what is it going to take to keep our team? What is it going to take to grow our team? What is it going to? How can you, in the compliance and infrastructure realm that you're in, help us do that and still not have exposure and do anything wrong or create precedents where now someone feels like we're doing things out of our lane. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important to, as a practitioner, continue to, one, practice, but two, be immersed in all of the initiatives so that once those are solidified January 1, all that legislation that's in the pipeline right now, then I know, because we've got 5 days for, or 6 days now for sick time. We didn't have that, but we don't have
Mm-hmm.
COVID pay anymore. So I'm already preparing people for that shift in from 24 hours, to 72. So it is definitely important to keep a pulse of what's happening, and it looks very active in terms of employer practitioner engagement. Employees are coming around, but it's still uh, pretty precarious.
And
Now,
I think, I'm sorry, Gilbert, go ahead.
go ahead, Crystal. Go ahead.
And also, when I'm teaching or helping prepare my business owners, because they're usually sole proprietors, but knowing that you can't scale your business without employees, because you need to be able to duplicate yourself and stay in your lane and let somebody else do all that other work. Um, to maintain the organization.
Mhm.
But they're terrified because it's like, look at all this stuff that's happening over here. But I always come back to your employees is the human asset of your business.
Yes.
Without those employees, you literally cannot grow. And when you bring that employee on, the goal is to increase your revenues. That's why they're there.
Right.
So that you can maintain them, and they are allowed to make a decent living. And I know when I was in the employee space, um, it was about making sure that everybody benefited, right? I benefited because I was good at what I did and I was valued by the company I worked for.
Right.
And I was respected by the company that I worked for. And that's important. You got to have the respect on both sides. It cannot be a one sided process. I think you have to realize that employees really make your world go around if you treat them right.
I love that you said that because I say this all the time to people. Equity isn't in the workplace, isn't just about the money. Equity is not just about the money. And most people do not leave behind the money. They leave for the way they were treated and how they feel they contribute and the ownership they can take to that contribution and that it's validated. And so when people kind of get that concept, they don't start to talk to me about, well, how do I fix it with money? It's you're fixing it with culture, you're fixing it with so many other things, and that would probably be your, and even in this climate, your last tool that you would use. And so once they really engage in that as a practitioner with me, they see a shift in the way that their employees see the work,
Mm.
and that changes the entire dynamic of the company. So that this is part of the partnership that I have with my employers, and my assessments are yes about the practical things and the processes because that's my scope.
Mhm.
But I'm also a people-centered practitioner, so I'm also asking about that. What is your approach, and it's sometimes it's just really observational. I have to spend some time with them. I have to get involved in and entrenched with their employees to know what that perception is, and then we can come up with a an approach to how to shift that. If it's in a direction that this is why they have a really high attrition, a turnover that they can't keep anyone.
Mhm.
It's not behind the money. It's going to be behind, and always when we assess it, it's always behind the culture.
Mhm. Gilbert, back at you. Gilbert.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something else.
Uh-uh.
I just wanted to speak to what Selena mentioned earlier about some folks leaving the workplace and not quite sure if they want to return. And that's a real solid observation because we did the same thing on this show. We did some research, and
Mm-hmm.
our research showed that most of the people who left the workforce and did not want to come back are women,
Mm-hmm.
and they did not want to go back to work because they didn't feel like they were treated well at work.
Mm-hmm.
And they would much rather become entrepreneurs than to return to those places of employment.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's reflected in the small business data because 65% of new businesses start since 2020 are women-owned businesses. So that's all of
There you
those
go.
facts add right up, and
Yes.
it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And we're doing our part on this side to really foster, nurture,
Yes.
and grow those young entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
to get them in the marketplace so that they understand what they need to do in their business model, get their infrastructure back office set up so that they don't fail and they can become successful. Because, like I say on this show all the time, you can't really get rich working for the man. You can get rich starting and running your own business and getting some of those government contracts, and that's really what we push on this show. Crystal works with a large group of young folks. They're anywhere from 13 to 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been coaching those entrepreneurs tremendously, man. They've been doing great jobs. you know, when the program is over and I see what they produce, I'm going, man, I wish some
Yeah.
of my adult clients were like these kids, because
Yeah.
they got it. They know what's
And you
going
just
on.
realize like how far ahead they are in comparison to when you were younger. Because I'm always
Exactly.
in awe of where Madison is at in comparison to when I was 22.
Yes.
I did not have, I was on a hamster wheel like everyone else. And so
Yes.
she's
Yes.
really far ahead of me. And it's a great thing. If I can, if any way what you saw me do, you developed a pathway for yourself, go
Yeah.
right to it. Her passion became her purpose and now it's profitable.
Yeah.
Like you
That's
can't
good.
beat that. Yeah.
Well, I already see the next step in our business. I know she'll be calling me soon, because she's probably going to need a mobile vehicle to drive around, because folks are going to request, can you come over and look at my pet? You know, she's going to drive over there, service them,
Yeah.
care for them, do what she needs to do. But
Yeah.
she's going to either need a line of credit, or she's going to need some funding to do
Yeah.
that part. So
Goals into
we want to prep
24.
her for that.
Yeah, goals into 24 for her are really aligned with what you just said because
Yeah.
this was her first year. So how impressive that you did the first year, you were profitable. So we
Yeah.
always set goals at the end of the year. So I meet with my girls about just the state of our company, state of
Yeah.
our state, and then what their goals are. And so we're actually having that conversation with Cedric on December 22nd so
Good.
that we go into 24 really knowing. So I think I will be, encouraging her to join the BEP, the
Yeah.
next round, and so she can take it from there. So I'm always talking about it. So she's familiar with all the names. She'll connect the faces in
Yeah,
this network.
run her through me and Crystal, man, because
Absolutely.
what we don't want, and we've seen this over the years, a lot of our businesses, they get started the wrong way,
Hmm.
and they can, when you start out developing a bad habit and you keep doing the bad habit over and
Sure.
over and over, and that's all you know,
Hmm.
then when you get to a point like meeting business coaches like us and we're saying, hey, this is the right way. Oh, well, I've done it for
You
25
got to
years
reverse
this
your thinking.
way.
Sure. Absolutely. And I love that Crystal comes from a place of educating you about she said, when I take over your books, I don't want to just do it. I want to educate you on what you're looking
Exactly.
at and the processes
Yes.
that I commit to make them everything add up and how to allocate. Because actually when she did an assessment, she came back, she said, by the way, and I love this, Crystal, you were a little more profitable than you realized because I did a comprehensive review and reallocated things accordingly. And everyone has a different style, and so she's like, I'm not taking anything away from anyone that did your books prior, but I'm also very well versed in this and understand what and how this needs to be allocated in order for it to reflect appropriately. And you were more profitable, so that was a gift. Like, what? Thank you. Take it.
See,
And the
see,
thing, Gilbert,
one
that
of, go ahead, Crystal.
I'm sorry, the thing that I learned, because I think I was troubleshooting when I came to your books.
Yeah,
And so,
you were.
and there was a situation that was there that we got fixed. And this is what that was when I first started doing bookkeeping. I was doing all the work. But
Yeah,
I realized that as a business owner, you need to understand what's happening. So now I'm sure you look at your books entirely different,
completely different.
and you know what it's supposed to look like,
Yes,
because this situation, that the situation she had may not have happened if she understood more about what
right,
I do, right?
right.
And so then she would have been able to look at that herself and go,
And
oh,
catch
wait,
it.
something's wrong.
Yes. Yeah,
See
and that
what
was
that is
9
right
years
there.
in. That was 9 years in. So I should have known at least, right, well before that, that this so that's the bad habit part you were talking about. The bad habit for me was I wasn't aware and connected to it and didn't feel that I needed to be. And the lesson was that not only do you need to know, but you need to recognize it so that it's intercepted before it evolves into a crisis.
Exactly. And the
Mhm.
thing about us, what we do, not only on this show, but also with our customer and our clients, is that we provide value. That value proposition that we
Thank you.
talked about before,
Yes.
that's what we do. We provide value to that customer so the customer can see the value we provide. And a bigger part, the cherry on the top of that value that the customer realizes from what we do, they fall in love with us. And
Absolutely.
that's
Yes.
what
That
Crystal
was
did with
easy.
you. She made you fall in love with her because
You did.
you're just glowing right now
Yeah.
about your interaction with her and how
Yeah.
she made you feel after that. You see what? And that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what
You
we do
just
with our
want to,
clients.
you want to become invaluable. You don't,
Yeah,
and that's what I do as a practitioner is like this, my businesses are like, I
yeah,
can't, and I love the reviews and they're all very organic. And when I see them, you know, the statements of saying, I could not, I will not, and could not run my business without Selena. And that
exactly.
is so meaningful to, and the reward. There's some things that are the reward and what we do in terms of the tangible monetary part, but the reward and why I can do what I do and you see me everywhere is because that is something that is priceless to me. And so, and it's signature to me. And so it's so important to know that. And Crystal has become invaluable to me in my company. So that's the love part. You're correct.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Well,
that.
wait until you hear what our next guest has to say about that,
Okay.
because he's been doing some stuff with cash flow and gross profit and all of that too. So we're gonna bring him in right after you. So, is there any final
Thank
thing
you.
you want to share with the audience to let them know
And
how
you can definitely stay
wonderful?
around while we talk to Mark,
Yeah,
because
you can
Mark
stay
is
Sure.
around. You
he's
don't have
gonna
to
give us
leave.
some
You never
handy
have to
tips
leave.
on
Oh, good.
increasing that cash flow.
Yeah.
Great. I just want to say thank you to you guys for always considering me in your podcast and sharing the story. I know even offline you share the story because I get feedback from people all the time. Oh yeah, Crystal told me about you. Gilbert told me, and so I appreciate that because it is all a part of the dreams and aspirations and the outcomes. It belongs to all of us, and so I just
Yeah.
want to thank you because I know that the ascension into this opportunity that I'm going to be taking on in 24 couldn't be without what I've learned from you guys. And so I hope you take some ownership to this opportunity that I'm having and that I'm going to be collective and collaborative with you as I implement some of those initiatives. So thank you guys so much.
You know
And
what
that's
we love. You know what we love about you. You are so humble and graceful, man.
Oh,
This is
thank you.
just so amazing. This
Thank
is
you.
so and you remember what I was saying to you earlier about the value proposition we provide to clients, right? We make them fall in love with us.
Yeah.
You have that quality. You make
Oh,
people
thank you so
fall in
much.
love with you. So
Thank you so
keep
much.
on doing what you do, man. That's phenomenal. We love
Thank
it.
you.
Love
And happy holidays, you guys.
it. Same to
happy
you.
holidays to you, and know that besides this platform, I have the community briefing. So when
Yeah.
you're after you're installed, as been installed and you've gotten your feet acclimated to your new watering hole,
Yes.
please feel free to come on the community
Yes.
briefing. I'll make sure Stephen reaches out to you because we do have, we obviously we're down here in Los Angeles, but far as the business population in the community, it's all of minority-owned businesses that in the
Sure.
whole, the Southern California, LA County, whatever, but Southern California area, and so a lot of times our Valley business owners feel a little, because they'll feel a little cut off because they're way down here. So
Sure.
they need to know that there are Selenas up there working for
Yes.
them and that our
Representing.
market, right, representing. So they need to know that. So definitely would love to have you. I'll have Stephen reach out to you so we can get you on the calendar for the community briefing.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to that too. I can't wait
Is
to hear your
is
next
there
guest.
is there anything you want to share with our audience as far as the event that you've got coming up in December and in January, your installation and all
Yes.
those wonderful things?
Yes. So I'll send you the link. My installation's on December 19th. That's at College of the Canyons. And it's a lunch installation, and the entire executive board will be installed as well. Senator Wilkes is actually swearing me in, so really honored for that. He's outgoing senator, and so his legacy and business in our community is unbelievable. And then on January 19th, a month later, I'm actually having my 10-year ribbon cutting for being in business here in Santa Clarita. And again, my daughters will be on hand for that. And some of our local officials, our chamber, and of course, some board members and clients of mine will actually be there to kind of represent the work that Six Degrees has done. And so those two things, and I'll definitely share that with you guys and post it.
All
I'll see
righty.
if I can get Crystal to drive up with me so we can come visit you and
Yes.
celebrate with you. And I'm sure your friend Niel will be there
Oh,
too. Niel
absolutely.
Cook,
She's helping
right?
me plan it. So absolutely. I've got
See,
so
that's
much
what I'm
support.
talking about.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'll check Crystal's schedule because she's a superwoman. So
Yes,
she's
I do.
always flying around,
Yeah.
solving all kinds of issues. So
Well,
see if I
actually, I
can get
think
her. Are you
I'll be
available?
back in town at that time. I am going to
All
Tennessee, but
right.
I'm
So
going for King's birthday to Tennessee. So, but I'll be back before the 19th.
So we'll
I
we'll
love it.
drive we'll drive up together and support
Thank you.
her. Support the future Senator Selina Thomas.
Yes.
There you
Thank
go.
you
There
so
you
much.
go.
And
Like
meet the
we knew
girls.
you.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much.
All right,
All
no
righty.
problem. You
Thank
take
you,
care and
Selena.
thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So we're gonna bring in Mr. Mark. We're gonna switch here, and Mark, welcome to the Business Zone. Mark, he was gonna be here last week, and he was our cash flow, money is my thing. It's definitely Gilbert's thing. So we are finally we worked out our technical niches and glitches, and we have him here today. And so Mark is all about marketing online. He is about increasing small businesses' profits. He's about helping business owners develop concrete lead generation strategies so you can increase those profits. He and I had last week a very lengthy conversation. Once he couldn't get on, but he and I really synergized about how you don't always need that capital inflow from external. You can actually generate that cash flow from internal. And so that's what he's here to talk about. So with that, Mr. Mark Newsom, it is yours. Take the floor.
First of all, that was so fabulous. Selena's got it going on. I mean, everybody can see she's beautiful, but I'm saying I'm very impressed with a lot of great information.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Let me say this before we even get started. Ladies and gentlemen, what all of us are trying to share with you is your perspective. If you don't adjust, you're going to end up choking on your competitor's smoke. Now, let me give you a simple analogy to start this thing off with a bang. Two people are driving across the desert on the hottest day of the year with no air conditioning. Crystal is driving. I'm the impatient passenger in the in the passenger seat. Finally, in frustration, I roll down the window and I say to Crystal, "Look at all that cactus." Crystal's smiling. You know why? She sees Las Vegas. Now, how do two people, two dynamic entrepreneurs, look at the same canvas, but have two different visions?
Amazing.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Perspective. Now, Gilbert is an expert. He's going to say 6 + 4. Crystal is a dynamic entrepreneur. She says 7 + 3. Now, here I come along and say 5 + 5. Selina says 9 + 1. Entrepreneur, mathematically, that's all 10. And what, in addition, you follow me?
Yes.
That's the journey we're going to take you on.
Yes.
Now, follow this. Let's speak of the difference between, like a teeter-totter. When this side goes down, what happens automatically to the other side? It goes up.
Goes up.
So while I was complaining about COVID, Crystal saw opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert saw opportunity. Selina saw opportunity.
Yeah.
It's the same situation. It's your perspective. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Follow this. You notice every time, and I'm only using this as an example, ladies and gentlemen, Apple is about to announce some new gizmo. People are lined up around this block 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, 12 hours before the store even opens, correct?
Yeah.
Now let's suppose Gilbert, being the dynamic, think outside the box entrepreneur that he is, he owns this fabulous gourmet coffee shop. We're going to come back to this. Gilbert and Crystal, all three of us, we're going to interchange these different businesses to use these examples. But Gilbert has a gourmet coffee shop, single location. He's not franchised, meaning corporate America is not pulling the strings, telling him, hey, you can do this, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. He's his own man. He's an entrepreneur, but he wants to expand. It doesn't mean he wants to get necessarily more locations. He wants to grow the bottom line profit. He's on their list. He gets one of this. Guess what he does? He rents a little portable truck, drives up to the location.
Make some gourmet coffee available.
Oh, steal my thunder, bro. But get this. He's gonna go way further than that. Gilbert has invested about, I don't know, X amount $1,000. He's got this big giant plastic mug he calls the Big Gulp. The people come over, he serves them gourmet coffee, and he says, by the way, my coffee shop is 2 blocks from here. From now on, when you bring that cup back, you don't pay $11.99. You pay $3.99. Say what? Now, instead of going to something donuts, where do you think they're going to go more often to get their gourmet coffee now?
They're going to go to your place.
Right. Now, they had been coming sporadically once every other week. Now they're averaging, get your calculators out, ladies and gentlemen, 3 times a week over 52 weeks. And Gilbert, because he understands, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have time to get into it. Crystal and I were going at this. Gilbert, you would have loved this. You've been fly the wall. But I want you to go to your friend Google or YouTube and Google this phrase: total lifetime customer value. Watch a video or two, read an article or two, boom, you had a basic concept down. Here's what Gilbert is banking on. He's not trying to get you to come back to buy a cheap or inexpensive cup of coffee. That's his hook to get you back into this gourmet coffee shop. So on the back end, you're going to buy pastries, cream bagels with cream cheese, donuts. Maybe you got that monthly meeting that or weekly meeting that Crystal's does. He's going to sell you all this other stuff. He's got bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, graduation from law school, dental school, chiropractic school, junior college, birth of a child, birth of a second child, birth of a grandchild. All this business he's going to bank on. I'm going to take this one simple strategy before we run out of time further. Gilbert has also hooked up with, get this, a local up and coming, not the top, because they may be a little bit too arrogant, an up and coming local magician. Now you say, what the heck's that all about? Gilbert, you tell me, and Crystal, you tell me what's going to happen. Person calls up his gourmet coffee shop, orders a birthday cake. When they come to pick it up, there's going to be an envelope, red writing on the outside in big letters, music legend Stevie Wonder can't miss. And this is what it says: you definitely deserve this! Exclamation point in red letters. Crystal, what's going to happen to that envelope?
Well, I imagine they're gonna be excited to open it up and see what is inside of it, right?
They're going to rip that thing open in less than 2 nanoseconds. Now, Gilbert has what we call, this is fancy talk, a bounce back, a time-sensitive bounce back offer. What the heck does that mean, Mark? Gilbert is going to test different premises, and basically what he's going to say is, hey, you come back within 72 hours, 10 days, excuse me. He doesn't want to go further than 10 days. And ladies and gentlemen, not 10 business days, 10 physical days. Meaning if that 10th day is Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, whatever, you still put it down. So actually now they got 9 days. So, but the point is, he's got a bounce back offer to his gourmet coffee shop. Say you come back within this date, hopefully you got the cup, you'll save some money on the beverage, and you're going to save a little bit on the next purchase. But he also puts an extreme time-sensitive coupon in there for an up-and-coming local magician who can perform at your kid's birthday party. Gilbert tells the magician, I don't want any money from you. What? Here's what I want you to do. When you get booked to one of these shows as a direct result of this coupon, you pass out some of my extremely time-sensitive gift certificates so they come into the store, buy that first big gulp at retail, that pays for the cup, pays for the beverage, helps keep the lights on, but then they come back because they're getting that super discounted price. If he does this with 10 entrepreneurs, he's either opening a second location or the family is moving into a new home. You follow me? Right? Now,
That's right.
let's ladies and gentlemen, I could get it. It's all perspective. And maybe hopefully the next time, if I'm invited here, we go even further, go way, way deeper. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a spot run. That's all this is. Now, follow this. We're going to say Crystal runs a single location retail jewelry store. Now, watch how she operates. She used to waste $40,000 a month or X on those outrageously expensive, I call them, Gilbert, I call them alligators, those local billboards, because all they do is eat money.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, and Selina and Crystal know this. They may not want to admit it on camera, but Gilbert, let's be honest. If we're driving down the street at 40 miles an hour with the music going and there's a billboard, unless it's a super fine babe, preferably a sister, and a car, Gilbert and I don't notice it.
That's
We
true.
don't. We're guys.
Or unless we get stuck in traffic, if we're forced.
Oh, here's my point.
That's why I had a 2-story billboard.
Okay, you don't want to have people, they'll say, 600,000 people are going to see this billboard. Who cares? It's not how many people see it. It's how many people respond. So, excuse me, follow this. So Crystal says, no more of that. Here's what she does. Where she goes and gets her hair hooked up, everybody loves it when she gets it. She gets that dude when she's going on a trip or whatever at cruise. She goes down. Let's say Selina owns this fab women's hair salon. So here's what Crystal does. She puts on a $2,500 diamond-studded necklace, some $650 diamond-studded earrings, and remember, her actual cost is half.
Mhm.
That's the retail cost is what I said, but her actual hard cost is half or a little less, but let's just say half. She goes into the shop, sits in Selina's chair. At some point, Gilbert, what is that conversation going to turn to?
They're going to be talking about the nice fancy earrings she's wearing in her hairdo.
Girl, where did you get this bling? Right? Now, here's what she said. And remember, she's got stylists, so they're checking Crystal out too. And Crystal says, she waits till the shop's about to close and all the customers go. So she says in front of the owner, so that the other stylist can hear, she says, girl, let me ask you something. And pulls up her roll. She said, if I could get you one of these for half cost and the earrings to go along with it and ultimately give it to you for free, would you like to know how? And they're like, what? So the other stylists hang around, like, I got to hear this. She said, here's what I want you to do. She pulls out a stack of her market tested. That's key, meaning she's already tested it, so she knows what works. She's not speculating anymore. She said, these are my two-sided index cards / gift certificates. The first side says, enter my free drawing for my monthly free drawing, pardon me. And I'm paraphrasing this, ladies. It's not etched in stone, it's a concept. Enter my free drawing for a chance to win a $2,500 diamond-studded necklace. One guaranteed winner every month. Gentlemen, you win a $2,500 Rolex. Remember, cost is half. Now, when you flip it over, it says in so many words, dear friend, because you're a valued customer, and she leaves it blank. She writes in the name of Selina's hair salon, and then there's a place down there that says referred by. She prints in there, and she says, then where it says respond by, that's the scarcity tactic. As long as they bring this in within the next, remember, 10 days, not business days, if they come along, they save 10%, $100. Not exciting, not supposed to be. However, simply dragging a friend who's at least 18, you automatically save 40% up to $2,000. Say what? And your friend, as long as they join our list, join our opt-in email list, and we'll get to email in 1 second. Before they leave the store, that's called scarcity, ladies and gentlemen. They could save up to save 30% off to $1,000. Now, let's look at what just happened. Number one, Crystal has a lead magnet opt-in email maximizer. Fancy way of saying she's building her email list. Number two, she's ethically bribing the person that reads that to say, go do my marketing and promoting for me. Go drag a friend. Gilbert, Crystal, and Selina, we call this the McDonald's technique. You know why?
Why?
Okay. You guys finish your statement for me.
They get you on the comeback.
Gilbert goes to the drive-thru of McDonald's, and they say, can I help you? And he says, yeah, let me get the strawberry shake and the quarter pounder with cheese. That trained cashier who's all of 16 to 25 automatically comes back and say, would you like fries with that? Now look at what just happened.
The upsell.
Rather than McDonald's go back on national television, go back on national radio or local radio, go back on a big giant alligator eating billboard for a fraction of that, just by asking that question, as Gilbert so expertly pointed out, we call that the upsell. Gilbert, you and I are old school. We called it bumps back in the day. The millennials call it income maximizers or whatever you call it. Here's the point. Get this. Worldwide, 10 to 40% of the people, paying customers who are already in the store, already come through the drive-thru, who are asked that question, they take advantage of it. But see, here's where McDonald's, in my opinion, took it to the next level. McDonald's asked their educated guru and guruettes, how do we take this upsell maximizer, income maximizer thing to the next level? Here's what they came up with. When 10 to 40% of us say, yeah, I'll add some fries to that, they ask us a 3-word question, Gilbert. They say, supersize you? Bam! Another 10 to 40% of the 10 to 40%. Hopefully that's not too much math, right? They say yes. Now, here's the beauty of this, ladies. Here's what I want you to see. Crystal and I were talking about this. Crystal, what did we say? The average, we call it exposures or touches. When you go on national, or not national, but radio and television, how many times do they suggest we have to do that before we even expect a response?
At least 7 times, right?
7 to 24 times.
7 to 24
right?
times. Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say we don't know what the number is, but ladies and gentlemen, take your calculator out. Multiply 400 a touch times 17. That's too much money. That money's going to everybody but the party who it should be going to, and that's you and I, the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what you need to understand is, if you've ever wondered how come the people on the McDonald's executives live in the best homes, you notice that's plural, homes, drive the best cars, plural, their kids go to the best, most prestigious universities on the planet. This strategy is one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned something before about, Crystal. I almost forgot. See, this is what happens when I get on a rant. But here, I gotta remember to tell you this. This is very important. If you're rocking social media, and I happen to notice down here at the bottom, that I don't know what the correct term is, because the streaming deal going across the bottom, it says live Facebook, live LinkedIn, live YouTube. They could add Instagram and all this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a warning. I know you've heard this, but this would just be criminal if I don't mention this. If you're rocking social media, and I sincerely hope you are, I'm rocking it. Everybody here is rocking it. Don't ever forget this. Unless your last name is Zuckerberg of Facebook and Meta, or Hoffman of LinkedIn, we don't own those platforms. We are glorified tenants. Gilbert, I like to say it like this. Think of using social media like sleeping on your ex-mother-in-law's couch. One day she comes home and says, Gilbert, baby, I love you, but you gotta go.
You got to go.
Where does that leave you, entrepreneur? You're gonna be homeless. On the other hand, follow this. Crystal has 550,000 Instagram followers, 250,000 Twitter X followers, and 500,000 LinkedIn connections. And for whatever reason, she wakes up tomorrow,
They're
it's
gone.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh no! Think of it this way: you're in a mall, and I know a lot of people don't. Gilbert, only us old schoolers still go to malls. I know not to study, but you're in a mall during the holiday time. That's one of the few times you get us in the mall, and you're already in a line of 25 people. You're number 26, and suddenly you got this uncontrollable urge. I got to go bathroom. So you hustle off to the bathroom. When you get back, another 20 people are in the line ahead of you. So you're number 47 now, whatever the number comes out to. In other words, you're starting all over from scratch when they shut your account down. And I'm sad to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, but it's the truth. In the time you have invested in listening to both of these fabulous guests, somebody in the world, I will guarantee you, has had their social media account either temporarily shut down or permanently shut down for the last time.
Yeah.
Now, follow this. Because Crystal has been building her opt-in email list, she's got 55,000 locals on her email list.
Yeah.
They shut her down. Guess what she does? When she wakes up and finds out, or they text her, girl, something happened to her social media manager, sends her this panic message, they shut us down. And Crystal checks it out. Oh my God. Okay, you guys work on that. I'm going to send what's called a broadcast email. That means she writes it out that minute, and she can either decide to send it right on the spot, or she can schedule it. She's going to send this right on the spot and get this headline. They shut me down, exclamation point, but they haven't knocked me out yet, exclamation point. That's the subject line. What? We click on it. She says, listen, unfortunately right now, it looks like my social media accounts have been shut down. To celebrate that, I'm having a special sale for only you, my valued opt-in email subscribers. You bring a friend and you're going to save X more than coming by yourself. That's the premise of it. You see my point?
Yeah.
She's not out of business.
Right.
I'm out of business because I was told by some guru, you don't need a website. You just need to be rocking social media.
Yeah.
If you do that, I'm telling you, you are the Titanic and an iceberg is headed your way, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm saying, just tell you. Now, to get back to my example, because this is, I got 2 questions. Oh, let me just go ahead and Crystal, you're going to ask me this question, but I don't want to run out of time, so I'm going to ask.
Okay. So
go ahead.
You want me to ask the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So we actually talked about this a few minutes ago with Selina. So what he and I talked about was, how does a mom and pop business actually bring in more capital without ever stepping into a bank, right? How do you bring in, how are they able to increase their cap or find the money that they need in order to continue to operate their business without ever walking into a bank or credit union?
And without ever filling out a loan application or without pledging collateral. Ladies and gentlemen, is that not interesting? Okay. Now, I'm going to use Crystal's example as the retail diamond store jewelry owner. When she says to that owner who has Selina, who has the hair salon or nail salon, it work either way. In fact, Crystal ultimately wants to get them both, but we're just going to use the one now. She knows Selina, so she's going to start with her. And Selina says, heck yeah, girl, what do you have in mind? And Selina tells about the cards we just talked about. She says, when you pass these out, I don't care what the customer spends the first time. This is what Crystal tells them. That first sale, and it's going to have your name on. Remember, print, don't curse it, print. I'm going to pay you $50 on the first, $50 each on the first 10. So you made $500. From 11 on, I triple it. What? $150. Now, follow this. If Selina just passes out 100 of these in a month and 20 people end up buying, 150 times 20 is how much, gang? 3,000? What if she had 5 vendors doing the same thing with her? I'm talking about Selina. 5 minutes. Crystal teaches her this concept and says, girl, just don't compete with me. In other words, don't cannibalize my concept, but do this with, the furniture store and the this and that. And she's like, oh, girl, I get it. She just made $3,000 per. Well, I don't want to sound too pie in the sky, Gilbert. Okay. So let's say she's got 3 of them. That's $9,000. What is $9,000 times 12, ladies and gentlemen?
96K.
Okay. Did Selina step foot in the bank?
No.
Nope.
Did she fill out a loan application?
Nope.
Did she pledge collateral?
Nope. Actually,
Nope.
she didn't go into debt at all.
She didn't go into debt at all. And I guarantee you, when she's getting ready to move into that new rocking townhouse, the other entrepreneurs that know her are going to say, girl, what are you doing? And she said, oh, my girl Crystal that comes in. Yeah. She got this little program that you can do and make some money on the side. Like,
see, it's good that you mentioned that, Mark, because as we know in business, there are 3 ways that money enters the business.
Okay.
It's through sales, it's through a loan from the bank, or an investor. So those are the 3 primary ways. So and the 2, which is a loan and an investor, has a lot of strings tied to that. The only one that doesn't have multiple strings tied to it is the sales, because your sales can be pretty creative. And that's what you're describing, the creative part of the sale.
Exactly. In fact, to take it a step further, Gilbert, I'm so glad you touched on that. Ladies and gentlemen, the late, great Benjamin Franklin used to have a saying. He said, empty the coins in your purse into your mind. In other words, invest in yourself, and your mind will fill your purse with coin. This collaborative we're doing here, because I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you go back and listen to this 2-3 times, you can come up with your own concepts that are out of the box. Stuff I would never thought of. Yeah. That's the point. So you don't have to be limited to, I'm not credit worthy. So what? This has nothing to do with your credit rating. This has to do with what's going on between the left ear and the right ear. Now, let me tie this email thing in. The other question. Go ahead and ask me the other question, Christian.
Wow, I got to pull up the other question. But I want to say this while I'm pulling that up. Here's something interesting. 2 things. One, I have another partner that I do something with, and he used an external individual marketer to market on his LinkedIn. He didn't understand, nor did that other external person understand, that LinkedIn has just the same kind of rules and regulations that Facebook has. You just don't know about them because you don't really think about marketing on LinkedIn, right? And the person had, I guess, went over the magic number, and who knows what the magic number is, right? So they closed out his LinkedIn account.
Oh, Lord.
He can never get back into LinkedIn.
Oh,
he is permanently, and he had over 6,000. Permanently, he had over 6,000 followers on LinkedIn, and his business is done on LinkedIn because it's all he does business. He's in the retirement industry, so he's doing business with companies. Where are companies? On LinkedIn. And he can't get back on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Newsflash, he ain't doing business on LinkedIn no more. Okay.
That's a real situation and crisis that a lot of entrepreneurs are now going through with Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all of those things. So Mark, do you have a strategy to overcome that type of thing?
Just what she's talking about. What we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, what we should be doing, and here's a good thing about no offense. I'm not trying to minimize what happened. Yeah. This is going to make him do exactly what Selina said businesses are doing. Yeah. They're going to have to adjust now. Yeah. Okay. If you had told them they had to do something else, no. You either sink or swim now. So they're either going to adjust. Like, no offense, Crystal knows this. Gilbert knows it. Crystal really knows it. I am not the most techie, but I have been forced to get into the modern world because This whole internet, social media thing is moving so fast, you can't afford to be completely illiterate in it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be an expert when I got Crystal and Gilbert and Selena and these other people. I can lean on them, pay them. But the point is, I got to know the basics.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you take the time to learn the basics. So here's the other question that Crystal's going to ask me. What is the so-called magic question? And why do today's savvy small business, mom and pop business owners and service providers need to know this and utilize it? Gilbert, I'm going to try this out on you right now. We're doing this simulcast. So we're going to find out right now, does this Mr. Marketing guy have the cojones and the knowledge and the skills or what? Gilbert, is it okay if I periodically refer you new business to customers?
Oh, sure.
And by the same token, as long as it doesn't take away from anything you're currently doing or will have going on in the not so distant future, are you okay with periodically returning the favor?
Sure, not a problem.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you heard what he said, but let me translate so that you understand what he's saying without conveying it through words. Mark, not only do you get access to my current positive and negative experiences, my vendors, my connections, my know-how, but the stuff that I'm going to develop next week, next month, next year, that's 10 times more advanced, you get access to that too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you and I have two choices. We could work like everything and try and outdo Crystal and Gilbert to build up our channel, and you should be trying to build your own channel, but you can also do something called leverage. What is that, Mark? Mm-hmm. You get yourself on a show called The Business Zone. They've already got the infrastructure. You get in front of that audience. So I'm saying that's called leverage. That's how you get more from doing less. And this Restream? This thing is powerful because when they're on one platform, they're simultaneously on 3 or 4 or 5 others.
Yeah.
Now I could waste time trying to build up LinkedIn, trying to build up YouTube, and trying to build up Instagram. They've already done that. Look at the time and money you and I are saving by getting in and bringing value to their audience so that they say, in fact, let's say how this came about. Gilbert and Crystal and I, let's say I own the gourmet coffee shop, and they always come into the shop and we talk and chop it up. And I start sharing some of these ideas with them. And they say, man, Mark, you know what? These are some fabulous non-traditional marketing promotional strategies. Why don't you come on our podcast and share this with our audience? I said, wow, yeah, I'd love to. Do you see how we've gone from one to one to one to many?
Mm-hmm.
That's called, in fact, Gilbert, I was to Crystal. You know, most black men, Gilbert, unfortunately, have a trouble with the N-word, correct?
Yeah.
Not that N-word. Networking. Networking. I call it power networking. We don't network. We refuse to network. In fact, before I run out of time, because I want to show you this strategy that I just talked about the raising money. Crystal doesn't stop with Selena. She turns to her stylist and say, are you interested in? I'll tell you what you do. As long as you join my option email list, you bring a friend with you, I will give you she won't hook them up as well as she hooked up the owner. I will give you these $450 diamond studded earrings at cost. So $225, half. The moment you bring me 10 customers, I'm going to refund you your $250 back. Say, what? Are they going to hustle?
Oh, yeah.
You bet. Now, let's take it a step further. Crystal said, listen, every week, whichever you, not the owner, whichever of you stylists, whether you leave this shop and go somewhere else, start your own, doesn't matter. Whoever has the most sales, new customers for me, not how much they spent. She could do that too as another metric. Whoever brings me the most customers every week, I'm going to pay your booth rental for the week. Say what? Every time you leave the pack thereafter, I'm going to double it. So you get so much in cash and so much to pay your booth. That means everybody sits in your booth from the first day you open, the first part of the week to the end of the week. That's all profit now.
That sounds like some attractive options.
Right? Now, and you
Profit
guys,
sharing.
if you're wondering, you say, well, okay, Mark, this all sounds very good. Where's this money come from? Remember, Crystal, stop wasting money on those outrageously expensive local 60-minute prime time
Advertisement.
radio and TV. Right. That, in fact, you know what else she's doing? Because Crystal got it going on. She goes to the Chamber of Commerce, and all the women in there that she know got it going on, she hooks them up with bling at cost. Why? So when they go back to their crew, if they didn't have on a $3,000 necklace yesterday and they show back up to their situation with one, what do you think these women are going to want to know? Girl, where'd you get this bling? She's going to pass out some of Crystal's discounted coupon cards, and so many going to join their list, so many going to drag a friend. Now, because Crystal's rocking it so hard, jewelers outside of her area saying, Crystal, no offense, girl, what are you doing? She said, oh, you should be part of my paid renegade marketing system. Anyway, what the heck is that? Once a month, we jump on Zoom. You guys pay $97 a month. And I share what I'm doing and what works. And I bring on special guests like Selina and Gilbert. And then one day, she has a special guest. She say, I want to turn you on to the guy that originally opened my eyes to this kind of stuff. Because I wasn't doing this stuff at first. He's the guy that's, now I got my own stuff now. But I got the original stuff from him. I want to introduce you to Mark Newsom, Mr. Martin. Bam. That's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. I don't care where you start from, or in fact, I'm not a hip hop. I'm too old for hip hop. But Selena, there is one line in a Jay-Z song that I absolutely love. He says, it's not where I've been, but where I'm about to go.
No, I thought you were going to say 99 problems, but
no, we're not going to do it. Not with these two beautiful ladies now. Maybe if it's just me and you one-on-one. But the point is, that's what it's about. I don't care where you're starting from scratch. Yeah. What I want to know, are you starting from scratch with, one of my 7-figure coaches, he put it like this. I don't care how fast you go, as long as you're moving in the right direction. Yeah. So it's not about, and let me just say this, because you guys, let me do this before I run out of time, Crystal, let me squeeze this last one in.
Okay.
Let's say Gilbert has a $2 million super crib. This was his dream house, so he thought, but now Gilbert's ready to sell and move on. And he's talking about building it. This is when he bought in foreclosure. So, but he's lived there 7 years. He's burnt out. He wants to build his dream crib. He went and bought some land. He's serious. So he lists his $2 million property on the market. And the market's been a little sluggish. And he went to this power broker, real estate broker, and this power. And they're sitting in my gourmet coffee shop talking about it. And Crystal says, you know what, Gilbert? I got an idea. I may be able to help you out. And he's like, what do you have in mind? She said, I don't have all the details. She really does, but she's playing court. I don't really have all the details worked out, but I'll send you a text when I got this thing together. Gilbert says, okay. She sends Gilbert a text and she says, listen, take some pictures just like you were going to list this in one of those real estate magazines and shoot a short little 2-3 minute video where you show the outside of the house, inside of the house, the best features of the house, the back deck. And Gilbert's like, okay, cool, send it. Now, Crystal's got this 50,000 email list. She sends 5,000 with some, subject line. She tests how many open, how many click. She sends another 5,000 with another subject line. She tests how many open, how many click. The one that's the clear winner, that's what she sends out to the 40,000 remaining, 5, 5, and 40. Now, here's the point. How many times does Gilbert have to sell his $2 million house? Once. What are the odds of 50,000 people, and let's say 30,000 open it, and she'll send another email to the ones who don't open it. But the point is, 1 out of 50,000, it's very possible somebody's going to forward that email to somebody who forwards it to somebody else. Gilbert sells his $2 million house. He didn't have to pay the 6% commission. Whose praises is Gilbert going to be singing from now till they throw dirt on it?
The one that had the 50,000 email list.
Crystals. And
Yeah.
Crystal did this strictly as a, this guy's he's a long-time customer and a friend. She's doing it just to help him out because she knows what's going to happen on the back end. She's going to be getting more business everywhere. Gilbert goes, they say, Gilbert, how did you finally sell your home? Which rules did you use? How much did you pay in commission? He said, well, I didn't pay no commission. So what? No, a friend of mine.
I like your blueprint, Mark. I like your
You
blueprint.
follow me, right?
Yes.
So
And
she
you know
got
what,
money
Mark?
coming in.
You know what, Mark, is interesting because, when we teach, when you learn marketing, when you first, if you've been in school and that was your area, you have to use, we become so reliant on social media and our odds of getting to the people and getting before all the eyeballs is limited to none in some cases because we have no control of the algorithm. But the one thing we do know, even if you send out email marketing, even if it and you track it, you're gonna at least get, if you're sending, I send out 3,000 emails on a regular basis, right?
Go,
I'm
girl.
gonna at least get 400 or 500 people that are literally gonna open it. And if they see it coming consistently every week, I'm probably getting, of my 3,000 or 4,000, I'm probably getting 2,000 eyeballs on it that I'm not
Exactly.
getting on social media. So old
Exactly.
school methodologies actually do work. And I know many of us have gotten so far away from email marketing, but email marketing actually does take you much further than social media, than the Facebooks and the
That
Instagrams
is
and
true.
those.
That is true.
And
And
you have control.
you
You
get
don't
to
have
claim the
control with that
email.
other. In fact, here's the problem. Gilbert and I have been running direct snail mail, sending out postcards and all this. And Crystal used to do it, and all of a sudden Gilbert and I are laughing because we said, she can't afford to do postcards anymore. Do you not realize when she sends out an email, within 20 minutes, she's got her analytics, who opened it, who didn't. She could turn it right around, test another subject line, send another email. Gilbert and I have to go pay typesetting, postage.
Yeah,
You do that every other month, that money that could go on to grow the business is going to expenses to run it. You
That's
see
true.
the difference in
exactly.
mentality? And in fact, Selena could send Crystal a text and say, girl, it's slow today. It's snowing, nobody's out. And Crystal said, girl, no problem. I'll get back to you in 10 minutes. She sends an email to a segment of her list. My girl is having a special sale over at Selena's head shop because the weather's bad. Get in there now and you can save 15% and
Yeah.
fill her shop just like that. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? This is the kind of stuff we're talking about, people.
I
So
see
I
what
don't know how much time we got.
I
Go
see
ahead. I'm
what
sorry.
you're doing, Mark.
Right.
You're taking us back to that email marketing as opposed to now just going on social media. Because the thing about social media is it collects the data, but we don't get access to the data. The emails and certain profile about the business, they keep that. And and then they kick us off when they want to.
I was going to say,
But
Gilbert, so you know what it's like? There was a commercial out when I was a kid. These pirates were on the ship. And the guy goes to the captain. He says, we'd like to have a party. And the captain says, go ahead. So they take all the time to make up this food. And the captain comes in, kicks them out, and eats the food. So that's just that's what's going
yeah,
on social media.
yeah,
You're working on their thing. And then when you get it up, they say, oh, we don't need you anymore.
Exactly.
You know what's
Exactly.
amazing though, because a lot of what you're talking about, Mark, and referring to is it's like a cyclical thing because we used to do things a certain way back in the day, and then we move away from that to this new, microwave type thing, get it done quickly, go on social media, do all this stuff because it's glamorous, it's trendy, and all of that. But really, what it does, it really remove us away from that level of accountability,
You are so right.
responsibility that we had
You are so
before.
right, my
You see
friend.
what I'm saying? So I
You are
get you,
so
man. I
right.
get you. Crystal and I,
And
we
I'm
were
and here.
talking.
Oh, let
Go
me
ahead.
just share this one last thing, ladies
Mhm.
and gentlemen. I want to share this. I mean, we're all touched on the same thing, but let me share with you one of the most powerful marketing systems and strategies available to any entrepreneur. I don't care if you got $2.50 in your pocket or $250,000 budget.
Mhm.
It's called the Amazing. It's a word acronym. FYAMAZING. system. Gilbert, can I share with you what the FYL stands for?
Oh, sure, for sure.
Flap yo lips. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to have a $10 million budget to flap your lips, but
And
you
it's
may need
free.
$2 million, right?
And
You
it's
may
free.
need $2 million to have a Super Bowl ad for 30 seconds.
Right,
Okay. Well, if you don't have that
exactly.
as a benefit, in fact, Selena, your daughter, who her business has something to do with taking care of
Yeah,
animals or something, right?
yeah.
I would make sure if I'm Crystal, I'm gonna hook her up with some bling. So when she goes to her clients, especially her upscale clients, they're gonna say, "Oh my God, I love your necklace." And what's she gonna do? She gonna pass out the card. Now imagine she has one for the jeweler, the retail appliance center, and the furniture concern. 3 different vendors. She's going to the job anyway. She can now pay for her gas, lease a new car. In fact, Chris could make a deal with her daughter and says, "Listen, girl, every time you send me 10 customers in a month," and that doesn't just mean her customer, means she's out and about. If I get 10 customers for you a month, I will pay your car lease.
Oh, wow.
What? Say what? If I get 20, now that doesn't mean she's going to spend the money on the car, but you're saying I'm going to allocate this money for you. You send me 20 customers a month. What's your lease? 1,500. I'll pay that. Now, why would Crystal do that? Because she doesn't want to waste money on an advertisement. Ladies, do you understand between the time Selena was on and I'm on, some local business in your community and mine spent X on a local radio or TV ad, and because we're here brainstorming, we didn't see it. But the
Or
money came out of the account anyway.
or Selena could also have her daughter put that bling on the pets and say, "Hey, we have some bling for the pets." That's an upsell,
We
right?
got bling for the pets. Here's the
That's an
point that I'm trying
upsell.
to get all of you guys to see, ladies and gentlemen. That's called back ending. I'm
And
gonna
you
tell you
know,
something.
a lot of pet owners, they're putting a lot of blings on their
That's
pets
right.
right now.
That's absolutely correct. So the point is, look around for other products and services
Yeah.
that your customers may want, and you can network with this person. Like, for instance, let me show you guys this. I don't know if you can see this. Gilbert, this is a real workbook.
Yeah.
This is self-published.
Mhm.
Now, get this, because I know it's for BizOp,
Mhm.
without really getting into it. But here's all this. If I get 250, I'm sorry, when I get 250,000 of these or more circulated, either digitally or, you remember the old late nothing down real estate guru, buy real estate with no money down.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an offshoot of that. When these people take back financing, it's a form of debt. In California, I think they call it trust deed. In New York, they call it a mortgage. But the point is that owner financing debt,
Yeah.
people buy that. Institutions and private investors buy this stuff on the secondary market to tunes of billions of dollars. What this manual shows them how to do is how to find investment grade, what we call paper, that they could sell to these institutions. Now, follow this. If I got 250,000 of these in the marketplace, let's say we're mailing them out.
Yeah.
Gilbert gives me this. What is that? This is a time-sensitive flyer, one of Gilbert's products. Now, let me ask you all a question. Gilbert, do they have the super Walmarts in your area?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Imagine you got this 2-story super Walmart. It's Christmas time, so you know how mad packed the store is.
Yeah.
You go up the escalator, and on the second floor, every shelf is empty. I'm not talking about like wiped out with COVID where there was 1 or 2 products.
Yeah.
Empty. What would your gut knee reaction be, Crystal and Gilbert?
One, it means that they probably ran out of inventory.
Or
Two, they can put a whole lot of stuff on those shelves and try to increase their sales.
They're going out of business. We're talking Walmart.
They're going out of business, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, so you say, okay, well, what's the point of that? Okay, this is Gilbert's time-sensitive offer. The second side, this has some, is normally blank. What? That's the equivalent of Walmart's second floor having nothing. This is prime real estate. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, or what we call AB split, an offer up here, Crystal's offer, and Selina's offer. Send it out. Gilbert's offer's on the front. I'm testing to see which of these 3 offers bring the order 1, 2, 3. Whoever finishes third, you're out. Gilbert is on the first page, Selina or Crystal's on the second page. Do you know if I make enough money from them, I could say this book normally retails for $67. The cost is $15. Send me the cost and I'll send you the book. Why? Because I'm really making the money off this back end.
Mark,
That's what marketing is all about.
you and I are going to need to do some talking on this, Mark.
Oh, my brother.
I'm
Crystal,
putting
what did I say I
together.
was going to try to do? What did I say I was going to try to do, Crystal?
Yeah, I'm putting
That's what I
together.
did.
I'm putting together a book right now about nonprofits, which I'm sure that will sell like hotcake. With that strategy, you've got that blueprint. I'm sure if you sell it at $99 or $97, per copy of the book.
Okay, wait a minute.
We can make it digital. Huh?
One other thing. Follow this. There's a young lady right now, and I'm only picking on her because I think you've seen she was on the cover of some magazine and calling her Woman of the Year. You know what I'm talking about? This entertainer, something Swift. Okay, follow
Swift.
this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's say she goes on a world tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say every venue is at least 50,000 strong. Fanatical fans going crazy. At the intermission, the person comes out and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the Jumbotron."
Mm-hmm.
And there's a super pimped out Escalade.
Yeah.
We're going to give this away every concert for her entire 18-month world tour, 1 grand prize winner, but you just got to enter your email address. Pardon me. Boom, a bazillion people join her list. You got 5 million people on the list or whatever it is. Now she comes back home. The tour is wrapping up. She sends out an email and she says to everybody who didn't win, the other 99%, even though you didn't win, but you're an extremely valued customer.
Mm-hmm.
I set up these 5 bonus gifts for you from these vendors. Now follow this. I'm just making this up, ladies and gentlemen, just to show you what's possible.
Yeah.
If you don't have Hulu or Netflix, I'm going to get you Netflix for 5 years at the original price of $7.99. After the 5th year, whatever Netflix is charging, if you want to remain a customer, then you pay the retail price. And her deal with Netflix is you charge them $5. I want the other $2.99. Now, does Netflix rather go on television outrageously promoting this thing or do something like this?
I like your blueprint, man.
Right?
I
You
like
follow
your
what I'm saying?
blueprint. Yeah.
Now, imagine this. Imagine Taylor Swift does a video where she says, or I'm sorry, now we're going to switch to Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're on their world tour. And they say, we're going to give away 1 person.
We're going to have to wrap up in a minute, though.
Okay, this is it. This is it.
We're going to bring you back
Jay-Z,
in for part 2.
okay, yeah, right. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're sitting by the fireplace and they say, you see that Aston Martin car? We are going to auction it off, excuse me, not auction, raffle it off. If you join our email list, and they point to about right now, all you got to spend is $500. That car is worth $180,000. Mm-hmm. If you still want to join into the raffle, but you don't want to be on our list, that's fine. It's 1 payment of $15,000. What would I rather do, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to pay the $500. Now, they're going to pay for that car with the $500 entrance.
Yeah.
And the rest, they give to charity.
Yeah.
Now, imagine Jay-Z comes on another 6 months later and says, ladies and gentlemen, we actually made $47 million of gross on that one strategy. And we're going to bring on the gentleman who turned us on to this concept tonight. Meet Mark Newsom, Mr. Mark. Am I going to get some business?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
That's why I'm on here bending over backwards. Hopefully, Crystal and Gilbert, I added some value.
Well, you already attracted me to your blueprint, so we're gonna have to talk about how we can, because I stayed up last night all night until like 4:30 going over my nonprofit book that I put together. And I'm saying,
Awesome.
with your blueprint
Awesome.
and my data, we can make
That's
this
right.
thing happen.
And your contacts,
And the
we're gonna make it
contacts,
happen.
right? We can make this
And
happen.
Selina's contacts, we're gonna make it happen. Okay.
So
Absolutely.
So we really appreciate having you on here today, Mark. And I mean,
My
there was
pleasure and honor, my friend.
there was a reason why this didn't work at all last week. You know, some of our guests were saying, "Hey, man, we're waiting to get this info because I know the info we're gonna get from Mark is some good stuff." So they actually got it today. So this
And
is
Fernando
good.
is excited.
Oh
Fernando's
yeah,
All right,
on and
Fernando.
he's excited.
man.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Fernando is
you've been
very happy about it because he's been waiting.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
so boy, we've had he said he knew it was gonna be lit. He was waiting last week for sure. So thank you, Fernando. I hope it worked. So basically, go back to old school ways and methods that we had already been culturized in, but then social media came up and we thought, okay, and it's not to say that it doesn't work for you, and it can, but however, there's a lot more limitations and lack of control, your control on social media, especially on Facebook. And as I just told you that story with my my colleague, he can never he's banned forever. He's in LinkedIn jail, which is got a longer life sentence evidently.
He's in LinkedIn prison. That's what he's in.
So and I didn't understand the magnitude of it until I went to his LinkedIn. Like, dang man, you have no people.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
But Mark, you've been awesome. Gilbert and I are going to touch base with you off because I think there's some things that we want to do with you. Yeah. Selina, we are just so happy for you.
Yes.
And just honored to know you and excited for you. We can't wait until you take off and tell us how we can help and how we can make sure that we can support you in your new position. And it's just been awesome. Thank you, Fernando.
Selina, we're like proud parents over here. Our little girl is grown up. She got a degree.
But you know what? And it's so funny because we always, sometimes we go down a pathway and we're so linear about that pathway on the direction we're going. So when you were running for city council, thinking that was the end result, but look where it's taking you. Yeah. And I just know that it's going to absolutely be magical for you in this other place.
No doubt.
So thank you guys both, but we're going to have to shut down before this
Happy Friday,
2 hours.
everyone.
Happy Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're sure
happy
we'll
holidays.
see you afterwards, and happy holidays.
Yes,
Gilbert, you want to take us on out?
All right. So, folks, please stay in touch with us. As you know, we're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. When the show is lit, when it's great, we'll extend it to 5, which we did today. So I just want you guys to know that. And this is a Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. And our job, our duty to entrepreneurs and small businesses is to help you guys, to provide you information, bring on new guests on every week who can share information and resources with you. And that's what we're doing here today, guys. So just go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and like the videos that you see. Whenever you see a video from the Business Zone, guys, just go ahead, like it. And so and subscribe so we can always send you information and material. There were a few of you who benefited from one of the shows we did about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we did on I think we did on business valuation, and we had an ebook that we presented on, and folks were saying, "Oh man, I love this ebook. Can we get it?" So they subscribed, and once they subscribe, they receive a copy. Now, if you still want a copy of that ebook on business valuation guide, make sure you go straight to our site on YouTube, subscribe and like our videos, then you will receive your copy. Just make sure when you subscribe, send us a quick email. Crystal, can you put our contact email in this chat?
Yeah, I certainly can.
Just go ahead and send us a quick email, and we will send you guys a copy of that ebook. It was amazing. This lady, I think she was a PhD from one of the universities. Oh, I've been watching your show. I like that ebook. Can you send us a copy? We sent the copy, and she was loving it. So that's what we want to do, guys. So here's our contact email in the chat, guys. Contact us at thebusinesszone with crystalandgilbert.com. Contact us at thebusinesszone with crystalandgilbert.com. We're on every Friday. Next week, Crystal, who's our guest next Friday?
Next week, we're doing a class in session, and then
we're doing a class in session. That's another thing we do, guys. We do class in session, so you're getting some real live information from a class. You got checklists, we got data, we got information, and you guys can also request materials from the class in session. So this is an amazing resource that you have here to help grow your business, guys. So please go to YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to our videos. And now, on behalf of all of our guests and behalf of my co-host on the Business Zone, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in our outro, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye, guys.
Right.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.